She's been punched, teeth broken, bit in the back of the head by a dog, possibly. You drag her by her hair, across the floor, up the stairs. That's abuse.
This is Tyshell Martin, a 34-year-old woman at the center of a shocking criminal investigation. Detectives are now uncovering the horrifying secrets she kept hidden for years. She is suspected of committing unspeakable acts against 9-year-old Jamaria Sessions, many of which were captured on the home's security cameras and later recovered by investigators from thousands of video recordings.
Is that what happened to her?
What happened to that?
Well, her gone.
Despite the horrors already uncovered, Tyshell's darkest acts remain hidden. When footage and autopsy revealed Jamaria's brutal suffering, it left seasoned detectives shaken.
2,820 photo videos. I know that number because I've watched every one of them more than once.
My child is not. She's not breathing and she's swollen and she's not responding.
On March 5th, 2024, Florida's Child Welfare Agency received a report of a possible abuse involving Jamaria Sessions' sister, Jalaya. A sergeant reviewed it, but closed the case within minutes. Over the following months, the violence inside the home escalated. On June 15th, 2024, security footage showed Tyshell ordering her Rottweiler to maul Jamaria, while she simultaneously kicked, dragged, and beat her, at one point threatening, "I'm fixing to kill her." On June 17th, 2024, Jamaria was found unresponsive. Her body was covered in bruises, burns, and dog bite marks, leading the medical examiner to rule it as a homicide. On August 28, 2024, both Tyshell and Jamaria's father, Juan Sessions, were arrested, and interrogations soon exposed the depths of their cruelty.
Do you need anything? Do you need a bathroom or drink water or anything before we get started?
I have no idea.
Okay. And I know this is an uncomfortable way to update you on this case, but as long as you want to and you're willing to talk to us, we'll give you a case update and then talk to you if you're willing to talk to us. I wanted to meet you. I've never met you, of course, you know that. And kind of talk to you woman to woman also, because I think you only talk to the dudes, and I think this case is a little more complicated than some people are giving it credit for. They're looking at it in a black and white medical sense, and I see a little bit more to it than that. Maybe not, but get your take on that if you're willing. I don't know. I see a young lady who's watching 5 kids, sometimes 6 kids, on her own, with no help from Juan, it looks like. I mean, he's working, he's going to school, I get that, so. I know one of your children is autistic, right, too. And everyone that I haven't talked to, but I've seen the interviews, say that Jamaria was, God rest her soul, quite a handful. She'd steal things and lie about things and lie about stealing things. And so anyway, I wonder if there's more to the story than just the black and white. I don't know. I mean, you can tell us if that's the case, if you're willing to. But you can wait on Fix Mercer. So I don't have to regurgitate anything that you say to us.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry though that you and your family are going through this, no matter what happens. I'm sure it's difficult one way or the other. I can't imagine. A lot of kids myself, and obviously you have several kids. Yeah. I didn't know if I did that. I did have. I'll scoot over so you don't have to play tennis ball with your neck to look at both of us. We were chatting, but we didn't really get into anything.
All right. Right now, you're the only person arrested, so we kind of want to hear your story. We think that there's more people involved in this that should be sitting in the chair you're sitting with, too. So, I want to hear from you. What happened?
Honestly, I can't say how she passed away. When I found her, she was sleeping.
Um, all I can say is, she did receive whoopings. The girls told me that she fell that day when I was sleeping. I did not witness that fall. I don't know how she passed. I don't know how she passed away. I honestly don't.
Okay. How did she get the pinch marks all over her body?
I have pinched her before, but from what I saw, I didn't pinch. I didn't do all of that.
Did anybody else pinch her?
Yeah.
Who?
Dad.
Dad?
Tyshell speaks in a calm, almost rehearsed tone, as if she's clinging to a fragile story. Her chilling detachment is evident from the way she describes the unthinkable as if it were nothing. But the evidence carved into John Maria's body tells the real story, and that casual front she's putting on won't hold for long. For hours, detectives corner Tyshell, unraveling her lies and exposing every evasive answer, as she stubbornly refuses to admit the full extent of her role in John Maria's injuries.
So what kind of abuse or what kind of discipline would LaJuan use on Jamaria?
What you mean, like use?
Like whoopings, or timeouts?
She got in trouble.
Like if she got in trouble for something, what would be the recourse that LaJuan would do?
Initially it'll start out with maybe having to run in place. That's a lot of things that he would tell her to do, or they would have to stand on the wall sometimes, and then it eventually resulted into a whooping.
They just wouldn't listen. Like you tell them to run in place, and they would do it for a minute or two, and then that would turn into a whooping, or what do you mean?
If they said that they didn't want, told him that they didn't want to do it anymore or whatever like that, yeah, then it would turn into a whooping.
Okay. And when you said that you disciplined her, how was your discipline?
Initially, I would just contact him a lot of the times and ask him what do he prefer her do. I would honestly let him talk to her on the phone, or, he would, talk to her on the camera. A lot of times he would just beep in and talk to her over the camera. And she would listen to him through there. And I whooped her before. I believe they came in October. Jalea came in day one with problems. Eventually, she just let us know, hey, my mom and my grandma, my nana told us that they don't like y'all, and I'm not going to listen to y'all. It went from that to her purposely doing things to the girls' things and just doing things around the house, and, telling her dad what she's not going to do, etc. All that.
So when you say things, what things? What were they doing? What was she doing?
She took peppermint oil and would put it in the girls' makeup sponges. So she would purposely piss around the house, saying that she didn't want to go to the toilet. They were stealing the other kids' stuff, purposely just hiding it to. Basically, she knew what she was doing.
The way Tyshell talks about John Maria's so-called mischief is astounding. She paints the behavior of a 9-year-old as something sinister, as if normal childhood quirks were proof of evil. It's a disturbing glimpse into her mindset, where playfulness becomes defiance and innocence becomes malice. She isn't describing a child, she is justifying herself. Throughout the interrogation, Tyshell's attempts to demonize John Maria stand in stark contrast to the overwhelming physical evidence of abuse, thinking she can portray herself as a victim of an out-of-control child.
Yeah, you told me on the scene that day that you guys got into a fight because you wouldn't have him anymore. Is that part of the issue?
It's mainly the whole thing, because, I stopped having for him to leave the relationship, and all that turned into a lot.
Right. So he leaves on the 13th in the morning, catches an Uber, goes lives with his mom, whatever. You said he came back. When did he come back? Do you know?
I don't know if that was the Friday night, I believe.
What time do you know, roughly?
It was like around 9-ish maybe.
And he showed up at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And what happened then?
Um,
Well, how did you get there? Let's start there. How did you get
I honestly don't know. That's
Okay.
what my daughter told me. She
Okay.
said.
So you weren't home?
No, I was home. I was
Okay.
sick, so I was
Okay.
in the bed a lot.
Okay. So who answered the door?
I don't know how he got in the house.
Okay. Does he know the passcode to the doors? He does? Okay. All right. So what does he do while he's there?
Home.
He's just home? Like, what does he do while he's there? Like, does he just go to bed? Or
Talking about that Friday.
yeah, that Friday night.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. My daughter saw him.
Right, but what do you do?
I was in the spare
So
room.
you don't know?
I wasn't around. I didn't want to be nowhere near him.
You know how long he was there? No? Okay. But you heard him say something to Jamaria, right?
Yes.
Okay, and that was what?
I'll be back to get you. And then someone had sent me a text of him reaching out to someone on her mom's side of the family to get her Sunday or whatever. That's why I was like, when he was telling someone that he didn't know she was there, I was like, that's a lie, because how did you not know she was here? All the girls are here. How did you not know she was here? Yeah, I understand. I sent you that text, but that was when I was unaware. Where we both know she's here now, so I didn't understand why he was running with that lie. He basically told her, "I'll be back to get you."
Okay. And
I don't know if it's because he knew the flight was already booked or whatever.
which flight?
To go to California.
On the 16th? Okay. So let's talk about the 16th. Oh, let's back up. So 14th, 15th, did Jamaria get in trouble at all? Did she do anything to be disciplined? And what kind of discipline was that?
So she was, I can't remember everything she did. She had to clean up. I told her to clean up because I couldn't watch her every step of the way due to me being sick that week. I don't know what her dad told her that she was in boot camp and she had to run on a treadmill and do squats and run in place and stuff like that. I just had her cleaning up.
Tyshell repeatedly tries to weasel out of responsibility, portraying herself as the softer parent and claiming she was a victim of her husband's abuse just as much as Jamaria. Yet the interrogation reveals a glaring contradiction between her narrative and reality, exposing the hollow excuse beneath her facade.
Did you guys take her to the doctor for it? I mean, teeth injuries are pretty painful.
No, she didn't. No.
She didn't complain about it or anything?
No, I didn't even see it. She didn't even show it to me.
Well, I know that you told me on the day that we first met that you remember giving her 2 popsicles on the 16th, the day before she passed. Do you remember doing that still?
I thought I had I thought she had asked I gave her permission to have the popsicles.
These popsicles on freshly broken tooth be a little painful, right? You ever had toothache?
But it had happened days before
Okay.
that. Like, I don't remember the exact day, but I know that she had stated that like at least maybe 3 days. Honestly, he had the same thing, and I didn't know how he had his on it, and I was just like,
You're talking about Lil Long fell off his bike and broke his teeth? He went to the hospital and he broke his teeth. She's hurt?
That's what he told me.
Right. Well, that's what he told me too, but he told me it hurt and he went to the hospital because of it and wanted some pain meds. All right, so let's go back. All right. So Carnival cruise ship, you said that she signed herself out, right? All right, so this is a statement form from Carnival Cruise Line. This is from the person that was the counselor that day on your ship that did talk to Jamaria that day. And this is a report from her saying, I mean, you can read it if you want. You're logged in and Tortia's logged in.
Mm-hmm.
Until after this incident, that was the only two phones that are registered with Vivint to have access to the system. When you set up your account on your phone, it logs that data. Okay, so we know whose phone is doing what.
Okay.
So when I asked you earlier what happened on the 12th, I'm asking you that because there's a bunch of videos that were deleted on the 12th. And they were only deleted by one user, and that's either you or your mom. So I'm asking you what happened on the 12th to cause a bunch of videos to be deleted. If something happened where you hit Luan, I don't care. He probably deserved it, to be honest with you. So I'm just trying to understand the dynamics inside the house.
Like just basically it was a big argument between him and I about a lot of the stuff that was going on.
Did you know he was having an affair?
No.
And that while you were in Miami on your way back up and he had your car and he was cleaning it, that he was meeting with this girl and is basically having a child with him? No idea? Okay. I'm just trying to figure out what caused this animosity, what caused this fight.
The fact that I wasn't having him, and if you go through my phone,
Right.
you would see the history of that all the time. But he was trying to do evil stuff to me a lot. So it's like I couldn't do nothing but try to stay home and protect the kids, and stuff because I just didn't know what he would. My main goal was just to get him out of there.
Right.
And that day, he was hiding stuff. I was hiding his stuff. Basically my stuff, his stuff, that because he had stole something from somebody, and I was trying to hide it to show it for evidence, just in case he did something to me. And basically, I didn't want to be seen with that stuff.
By now, the pattern is unmistakable. Cruelty dressed up as discipline, neglect excused as fatigue. Tyshale normalized brutality to the point it became forgettable, stripping Jamaria of dignity until all that remained was silence and blame. What comes next crosses a line even the darkest cases hadn't dared.
Who do you recognize in those photos?
Jamaria and myself.
And what about Azaria?
Oh, I didn't see it. Okay.
What happened? Something happened because that's not the way that you normally act. I've talked to people. You were a good mom. You helped other parents with their kids. You did their hair. What happened?
That day,
we all make mistakes.
I don't know if that was the moment that they came to me saying that she was punching the pillow, or what that moment was about. I can't remember.
What was going through your head?
What was probably going through my head was that Probably like, I'm tired of talking to you. Listen, do what you're supposed to do. A lot of times I just felt like I was the one protecting her, for her to turn around and not listen to me when I'm the one keeping you protected from your dad. So I did have moments that I did react to being tired of her not listening to me.
Okay. Do you remember what she had not listened to on that day?
That's what I was trying to think of. I think it was the fact that she was being. I think it was the thing that made me react like that, because I feel like she's too little of a girl to be talking about and asking my older girls about, and asking them why they want tape and stuff like that. I just probably was overwhelmed with all of that.
So in our line of work, usually if we see something in a 9-year-old that says that, it makes us wonder where they learned it from, right? And if she didn't learn it from you, who's the other guy figure she has in the house?
Right.
So I understand it's frustrating that she may be asking questions like that, but there may be an underlying reason as to why she's asking those questions.
Well, with me, I will always ask her. I will always try to get down and get her understanding from her. And she was just like, she saw her auntie doing those things, and, that they were allowed to have a boyfriend before they moved with us and stuff.
Well, and there's another video too of her running in place. You had her running in place, and then for whatever reason, you kicked her from behind and she trips over the bag of dog food. That's when she sprained her ankle. I mean, that's because the next video with her in it, she's wearing an ankle wrap. It fits. There's no video of her wandering through the downstairs living room, tripping over a bag of dog food. There's a video of her proceeding wearing a wrap on her foot, of her running in place and you kicking her and her falling over a bag of dog food. So
Tyshell's excuses collapsed under the weight of the truth. What she labeled as discipline was sheer humiliation and violence, exposing how far she had fallen from even pretending to be a mother. And for Jamaria, every excuse translated to one harsh truth: more pain impending.
And it captured a lot inside your home. I know that LaJuan doesn't know the door code to your door. I know that because there's so many videos of him standing outside like an idiot, waiting on someone to open the door for him.
But that was before we just got it. We just recently got it done, and he was the one that had to be there with the guy to program everything.
I also know that he stood in front of your door on several occasions like an idiot, not knowing the code. I also know every time your doors were open and when they were closed. I have every video of every person that's been in your house. From the pest control guy that you canceled when your mom was there, to LaJuan, to Deshara's boyfriend and Denai's boyfriend they snuck in, from them smoking weed to them drinking alcohol. And I have all of that.
Right. I mean, he told me that he's the one that set the code for the front door. The side door, he don't have the code for that. He didn't have the code for that one.
Spends a lot of time outside standing in front of the door looking like an idiot for someone that has a code.
Maybe the chain was on the door.
That's why I wanted to talk with you, though. You can see we spent 2.5 months figuring out what happened. We had videos, texts, reports from Carnival. I wanted to ask you why. And you're kind of disclosing some of that. What was going through your head? Who else is involved? Are you the only person who should be sitting in that seat, or should someone else be? Is there a reason behind this?
Just don't
Is there an
think
explanation?
that it's nothing that I did physically that could have caused her death. That's just, I mean, I know what he told me, so that's what, I was leaning more towards, but
What he told you?
well, not me, but told her. He basically let her know that he was going to kill her. So, I mean, I didn't know if that was a scare tactic or what, but I honestly...
So what do you think
nothing that
LaJuan
could
did?
have caused her to die.
What do you think LaJuan did?
I don't know.
But you see the marks on her.
Right.
Who caused those marks? You, Lawan, someone else?
I mean, I feel like
Everyone?
Lawan did.
You feel like he did, or you know he didn't?
Only other people it could be is my kids, and I know they didn't do that.
I mean, I hope that you're not trying to protect someone, because I find it hard to believe, just being honest with you, that you as a mother, stepmother, or whatever you consider yourself, a caretaker, do you consider yourself a caretaker of Jamaria, at least?
Her mom.
Her mom, okay. As a mother to Jamaria, if you didn't do those things, or didn't do all of those things, I find it hard to believe you didn't see those marks on her body.
No, I didn't see all of it. I didn't.
Some of them aren't even covered. She's wearing shorts. She's walking around naked, for God's sakes.
On some days, yeah.
How did you not see them, though?
Because that week we came back, I was sick. I was in the bed the majority of the time.
Confronted with evidence she couldn't deny, Tyshell sits silent as every detail of her neglect is exposed. The videos, the marks on Jamaria's body, and the timeline of her choices combine to paint an unmistakable picture. Her refusal to acknowledge what everyone else can see shows not just her failure as a mother, but also her unwillingness to confront the harm she allowed. And just when it seems everything has been revealed, the interrogation is about to show just how far her denial really goes.
So she died from her injuries. So it's kind of like it's kind of like death by 1,000 cuts. You ever heard of that? Like you get a little paper cut and it doesn't kill you, right? You get a lot of them. Well, then now your immune system's jacked up because it has to fix these things. It requires energy from your body, so you break down muscle, which breaks down proteins that go in your kidney. It's a whole thing, right? And then she has all these injuries that are staggered historically long. So she's been whipped, she's been pinched, she's been punched, teeth broken, bit in the back of the head by a dog, possibly. She has all these injuries that her little body is trying to fix, right? All at one time. It's a lot. And then she's not given nutrition. She's not given proper amounts of water. She's not given proper amounts of food. And we know this because during the autopsy, we empty their stomachs. We check their bladders. I know what color her urine is. Her urine looked like coffee. And she had so little fluids in her body that we barely didn't get enough blood because her body didn't have enough hydration. So we know she was dehydrated. We know she wasn't fed. And we know she has all these injuries that she's trying to recover from.
I fed her literally every day on the cruise, every day since we...
Here's what happens. When your body can't get food, it breaks down muscle. So I tell you not to starve yourself because you'll lose all your muscle mass. So your body breaks down this muscle to try to repair itself. Well, the problem is a lot of protein goes in the kidneys. Kidneys aren't built for that. They shut down. And then she dies. So literally preventable from one, not hitting the child like that, not making her exercise like that, not pinching her like that, not having her teeth broke, not having her dog bit, but hydration. The child died because she wasn't given water, enough water. That's why she died.
And from her injury.
But I did. I mean, like, there's no... she's never been deprived of no food. Like, everyone has full access to everything in the house.
2,820 photo or videos. I know that number because I've watched every one of them more than once.
Okay.
I rarely, if ever, I see Ozari, I see Denai, I see Lawan, I see you, I see everybody getting food.
Well, not me.
You get food.
I don't eat, trust me.
You don't eat often, but you eat more than Jamaria did.
No. Listen, Jamaria moved into our house eating cereal and noodles. If she lost a lot of weight because she told us, because we had meals, she told us that's not what she wants to eat. Dad told her she has to eat those meals that is served to her. So Jamaria lost weight because she couldn't eat cereal and noodles anymore. We found out that me cleaning up the house and stuff like that, we found out that she had been taking her dinners, stuffing it in her backpack, stuffing it in corners, stuffing it under the couch, which is why we got so many roaches now, because they had been taking the food that was cooked for them, placing it other places. but they still had full access to it. I've never told her not one time she could not go in the kitchen, eat nothing, any of that. I don't know if Dad
For a
told
child
her.
that spends a day in a corner because she didn't disobey her dad or her mom or whatever, if she can't even get out of the corner because to use the bathroom,
I would never
she's so
leave her
scared.
in the corner for a day. I would never tell her she can't get out
You
of the
said
corner.
she was in the corner so long she peed herself.
That was on the ship, sir.
But that's my point, is that her mindset, she's 9 years old, she's not an adult. She's been subpoenaed for grand jury, so she has to testify in this whole case about everything she knows. And that means you can't talk to her and tell her what to say, because that's tampering with a witness, but she needs to be honest. And this is serious game. She just started adulthood,
Yeah.
and she needs to tell the truth.
They know he was there. I can't say if all of them know, but they do know he was there. I just feel like he told me that, not told me, he told her this what would happen, and it happened.
Did he ask you to lie for her?
No, he was just like, no matter what, we in this together, and
But you ain't in it together. Look who's in this room.
He ain't in trouble.
He's not in this room.
He's living his best life with his new soon-to-be baby mama and his mom. You're here. He's not.
right.
Did he threaten you, or are you scared of him? Is that why you're covering for him? If you are.
He always threatened me.
He can't get to you now. How did he threaten you?
He just told me that if I would leave him, he was going to kill me.
I mean to do with this. You covering for him, you lying for him, you taking the blame for him.
I mean, basically what he was just saying is like, he can't go back to prison. He can't go back to prison. He can't
But
go
you
back to
can.
prison.
But you can go?
I mean, that's what I asked him. He was like,
Well, that's some bullshit. If you ask me.
He's got a history of child neglect.
that's all he kept saying is, he can't go back to prison. He can't go back to
Why?
prison.
Why can't he go back to prison? Because he don't want to? I bet you don't
I mean,
want to.
he says he
either.
has a baby on the way. That could be a
Well,
reason.
you have how many kids? How many?
4.
Okay. What about your kids? That's his problem.
Even as the truth closed in, Tyshell clings to her lies, shielding Lawan and abandoning all decency. She never shows remorse, only excuses. Jamaria's suffering wasn't accidental. It was an assured death, brought by 1,000 cuts by the very person meant to protect her. And in the end, denial was the only thing she chose to protect.
Why is he telling you you can't go to jail? Meaning,
It's basically
what
like,
do you have on him?
it's basically like, he has painted this picture as in a way to where it looks like it's me. It's look like it's.
Unpaint the picture.
So basically, I say that to say everything that. How can I say this? Right now, he's threatening me with like my children, where like him being able to place Egypt in places that he know I doesn't want her to be, etc. Of course, I don't want my child with his mom, etc., because they do witchcraft. So right now, a lot of this has been to basically be on his side, so my children aren't ending up places where I don't want them to be.
Egypt is his daughter, though, right? Is that the one?
Yeah.
Okay, so you do. That's right. You do share. So you're afraid that he will be able to
He's
put
using
Egypt
her
with his daughter, with his mother.
Yes. That's exactly what he's doing.
And in exchange, you'll cover for him, and then he won't go to Egypt with his mother?
So he basically just asked me not to let, it be known that he threatened her and was whooping her and stuff because he's already out on probation.
Right. I think you consider yourself a mother to her. I can't imagine you would see that and not say, Jamaria, how did that happen? Just to use that as an example, but her whole entire body was covered. So, can you tell us who did what to her? Who made what marks on her body?
So I don't
If you
know exactly.
only what you know.
I don't know exactly what all he used to discipline her. When we got back from the cruise, I just know that he did.
Explain that to me. How do you know he did, and how do you not know what he did?
I know that he did because I heard her screaming and crying from the room that I was in. I know what he told me he was going to do prior to her coming back.
What did he tell you he was going to do?
He told me that he was going to whoop her so bad that it left bruises. I mean, that he didn't care if it left bruises or not because she could use the summer to heal.
Did he tell you that? How? How did he communicate that?
He told her that. He was on the phone yelling at her. He was like, I'm going to whoop you bad that, and I don't care about you having bruises because you got all summer long to heal. And then he was like, I'm going to kill you.
In that cold, clinical room, Tyshale speaks of bruises and screams as if they were white noise, not unspeakable horrors. Jamaria was reduced to a set of cold, abstract details, never the child Tyshale failed to protect. Even confronted with the reality of her actions, she remained eerily detached, a mind disciplined in denial and cruelty, untouched by the suffering she caused. The interrogation is only just the beginning to reveal the depths of her mindset, and what comes next will show just how calculated her indifference really is.
That after you heard her screaming on 2 separate occasions after the cruise with him, you didn't notice all those other marks that you saw in that photo?
So from the photo he showed me, I only saw the front, her chest area.
Mm-hmm.
I did not notice that. I believe she had on a bra when I saw her.
Did you ever see her bare chest again after that? After that screaming and... I knew she was found naked, but
I can't. I think I did, but I didn't pay attention. I think I was laying in the bed. I think I was laying in the bed, but I didn't pay attention to her breast.
Tell me about the orange stick. Is that how it was described? Orange stick?
Yep, more stick with letters like boom or
Orange stick
it's a firework of some kind.
with letters, what he just said.
I'm not aware of that.
Were they ever disciplined with anything like that? They meaning Jamaria and her sister. Anyway,
I'm not aware of that.
you know of any objects? I heard you mention a wooden spoon. Do you know of any other objects they were hit with? Anything in your house that sounds like an orange stick with letters on it, like boom or firework on it?
I mean, Dad was the only one that dealt with fireworks.
I mean, like an orange stick with...
I mean,
Right.
the only thing I could think of is the fireworks that were sticks that he popped with them and stuff. I don't recall.
Can you think of any other objects he would discipline them with? Besides the wooden
The
spoon?
belts, the wooden spoon, his hands, a lot of times his hands,
So,
that incident when it's him and her, Luana and Maria downstairs, she's screaming. Is that when her teeth got broken?
I believe it was that same day.
Was it with him downstairs though?
I don't know.
Were they broken before that?
No, they wasn't.
Were they broken after that?
Yeah.
So you don't know, but they weren't broken before that.
But they wasn't
and were
broken before that, so I would most likely say.
So you did notice the broken teeth after that.
I remember them talking about it.
Okay. What else do you remember them talking about, or did you see after that you didn't see before?
I didn't hear them say how it happened, other than the treadmill.
That's okay.
But I don't.
Well,
You know.
okay. Well,
But
maybe it happened on the treadmill. I guess we don't.
We spray the treadmill with Blue Star, the stuff that glows blue, and the hot water heater, the wall, the floor, everything in it. Nothing was blue.
Nothing.
No.
Suffice to say, however it happened, it was when the two of them were downstairs together. As far as they weren't broken before and they were broken. Anything else that wasn't before and was after? Besides the broken teeth that you saw or heard about?
The bruises to her backside.
Even faced with the mortality of her own child, Tyshale sits unmoved, sticking to the same empty lines. Every denial, every calculated pause is an act of self-preservation, a display of vanity in the face of horror. Her refusal to confess is not weakness. It is the clearest statement of the twisted pride and detachment that define her.
But I wasn't abusing her over the time, though.
On the 15th, when you kicked her down, punched her or kicked her in the gut, kicked her in the back, stomped her head, grabbed her by her hair, dragged her across the floor, had the dog like he's gnawing on her face, right? And she's at the bottom of the stairs and she's lifeless and helpless and limp. And you're yelling at her to get the f- up. Go upstairs, get the f- up. This wants me to kill her.
Yeah, I was.
Okay, so question for you. Does that look good or does that look bad?
No, it looks bad.
Okay. Is that
It was
abuse?
just words.
No, it wasn't just words. You kicked her repeatedly. You stomped her head. You kicked her in the back, kicked her in the stomach. You dragged her by her hair across the floor, up the stairs. Like, so that's abuse. I don't know how you want to define that. That's not discipline. That's not corporal punishment. That's not a scare tactic. That's straight up abuse. So if you're asking me honestly, did you abuse her? Yeah. Yeah, this wasn't like I hit her on the butt once with a belt and she moved, so I got her lower leg type argument. This is pretty bad. And the video is pretty bad.
We don't have videos of Milan doing that, whether it be because you deleted them, the ones of him, or he was smart enough not to do it on video. But as far as spending so much time with you, asking you, because your kids have already told us no, what, if anything, he had to do with it? Because he ain't going to throw himself in front of the bus for you, I'll tell you that.
Here's the reality. But Azaria knows the truth. She stood there, right, when this happened. She watched the whole thing go down. She even moves over so she can watch it continue, which is sad. The other part of this is Denia's upstairs at the top of the stairs at the same time this is all going on downstairs, so Denia hears it. And they're both telling me, Mom never touched anybody. She's a good mom. She never puts her hands on anybody. Do I show your 11-year-old that video? Or do I let her believe her mom's not putting her hands on people? Which one would you prefer me to do? Because I haven't shown them the video yet.
I mean, they know they know that was us. They know that happened.
Listen, we all make mistakes. I know. You have a lot. This kid is a lot. Luan is a lot. You're going through a lot. You're a single mom. You got all these kids there. You have no help. He won't bring you food. You're always complaining to him about how you're always starving and he's only out for himself and there's no money and you're having to ask your mom for help. You're stressed out. I get it. 100%. It's not an excuse, but it is an explanation.
I did have a moment, but
There's more than one moment. I would say that you had moments because there's a lot of videos that are not in your favor. And they're evidence. They're going to be played.
stuff that I just can't even recall. It's a lot going. It's a lot in that relationship. So just from that alone, that was enough to kill her.
If a mosquito lands on you and it's sucking your blood, and you have two choices. You can move your arm, make it fly away, or smack your arm and kill it. That quick of a decision is premeditation.
The truth sits heavy in the room. Tyshell in the video doesn't flinch. She kicks, stops, and drags a helpless child with the same calm detachment that fills the interrogation room. She denies everything, yet in her every movement, she reveals it all. And just when it seems her cruelty has been fully exposed, the next moments will uncover a darkness even harder to face.
You're sitting here between two cops where he can't touch you and you're afraid of him. Not saying that's your fault, that's his fault, but I'm just pointing it out to you so that you see it.
Because even now, like, I'm in jail, I'll be in jail and he still has full control over my child. So it's like, even now, he would, I don't know.
So help put him in jail if that's where he belongs. You do what you can.
Honestly.
To be honest, obviously you want to make something up, but
No,
be
I
honest.
wouldn't.
Encourage your family to be honest if they know information that can help. We don't want anybody to make anything up.
Because it's a crime to lie, right?
Yeah.
And we will charge them if they're lying.
Right.
So we need to have something that they say and something we can prove it with.
You see, we have a lot of information, so we likely would know if someone's making something up.
Right.
We don't want that.
Right.
We don't want anybody to do that. We've had enough of that.
I wouldn't want anyone to do it either.
I appreciate you talking to us and being honest with us. I know that's hard, I'm sure.
You'll feel better.
I'm sorry that you're going through this. Your family's going through
Yeah, me too.
it. You swear everything you told us today is truth?
Yes, ma'am. But so me talking to my mom right now, nothing. That's not going to change nothing.
No, we can't. The judge signed a warrant. There's nothing we can do about that. The only thing that's going to change, though, is hold people that are accountable. Right? So Lawan needs to be sitting in this room as well, or in the jail as well. You don't need to go down on this shit by yourself. And that's what's happening, is you're going down by yourself. So do you want him to be living the life, walking around, doing whatever he wants to do, while you're sitting in here for him? Then he won't start talking to us. Tell us the truth. I gave your daughter, Denaya, so many opportunities to tell the damn truth. She's a horrible liar.
Yes.
She knows about but they definitely know about the abuse towards myself and the kids.
You know that.
I don't
If
know.
they say everything was fine, there was no issues, they don't know nothing about nothing.
If you was going to have a bond and all that, so are you going to have a bond?
So if she has no bond tonight, she goes to first appearance, and the judge can do whatever he wants to do with bond.
All right.
All right?
Love you. I need the shower. Can you just give me 2 numbers real quick?
Can I do what?
We have the
Can
Charlotte's
you give me
phone,
Chris'
so-
number?
Yeah.
I don't have his number.
Pumpkin.
You want me to? Okay.
If you give us the numbers, we'll write them down real quick.
have to.
I'm saying call Pumpkin real quick. Hurry up.
Well, just do this. I'll give you her phone number. It'll give her time to find Pumpkin's phone number, and then she'll give it to you. Does that work? Does that work, ma'am?
Are you going to call me back?
Yeah, she'll call you back.
Okay.
It'll be a little bit, but she'll call you back and just have that number for
Okay.
her. All right? Thank you.
Okay.
No.
All right.
So when would you guys be able to talk with my sister and her girlfriend?
What's her name?
Katoya Martin and Veronica Cobb.
Do you know her phone number off the top of your head?
No.
Okay.
My mom could probably get it.
All right, so I'll call your mom tomorrow and get that phone number from her. And then we'll figure all that out.
Did you say Katoya
Yeah, Katoya.
Martin?
Yeah,
And who?
Veronica Cobb.
And they what information did they have again? I'm sorry.
Witnesses of the abuse.
Okay.
All right. Anything else for us? All right.
It's the restroom.
So, just sit here.
Yeah, I can help you with.
The mask slips for good. Tyshell's justifications collapse into silence. Her lies dismantle one by one. Right up to the bitter end of the interrogation, she refuses to confess, a chilling reminder that someone who should never be a parent carries the title of mother. However, even without a word of admission, the evidence speaks clearly, leaving no doubt that justice enacts itself for little Jamaria. What remains is the unbearable truth. A mother became her daughter's tormentor, and a little girl's voice disappeared forever. After the August 2024 arrest, the case advanced to court. On September 24, 2024, a Lake County grand jury indicted Tyshell Martin for first-degree murder, aggravated child abuse, and neglect, while Lawan Sessions faced aggravated manslaughter charges. On October 16, 2024, prosecutors sought the death penalty, calling Tyshell's acts exceptionally cruel. Evidence included video footage, autopsy reports, and text messages. On February 5, 2025, Tyshell denied killing Jamaria, but prosecutors called it death by 1,000 cuts, ultimately sealing her fate.